I know you might not be the story person, but I would really appreciate if you can stay till the end of today's extraordinary episode. Hello, extraordinary family! It's 2024! It's definitely going to be an amazing, beautiful, and extraordinary year. And I trust God to always come through and show up for you and I as He has always does. So, welcome to today's episode on Moments with BOT. So, extraordinary family, for the first episode in the year 2024 on Moments with BOT, I have decided to share with you an important part of my life, and that is my failure testimony. Yes, my failure testimony. But before we proceed in today's episode, I want you to have this background understanding, and that is failure is not totally delay. Delay is not totally process. These three words or these three seasons of one's life has their reasons and they are different phases at different time. Though it might intertwine, process might bring about some kind of failure. Failure might be as a result of a process, but you do not totally define process as failure or failure as delay. These three has their different reasons and their different seasons, and they have their different phases in your life and in my life. So let me share with you my failure testimony. The most surprising thing is that at the beginning I thought it was failure, but then I realized it was process. But I was ignorant to my process and I equated it to failure. However, I'm still here today to share my failure turned process testimony. And this is specifically on my academic journey. So let's get right into the full story. It all started after my college education, and I was aiming to get admission into the higher institution here in my beloved nation, Nigeria. After college education, there is a particular examination we have to opt in for, known as JAMB, Joint Admission Matriculation Board, if I'm right. So my first JAMB in the year 2016, I had 177. And in my dear country, Nigeria, the least you can have is 180, though it is on a grade of 300. The least you can have is 180. So I had 177. Okay. In 2017, I wrote another JAMB and I had 256. But then the admission didn't work out as well. And in 2018, I wrote another JAMB and I had 217. And it was then that I got the admission. But that is not my full story today. I am here to tell you what I counted as failure, which now turned a testimony. I know you might not be the story person, but I would really appreciate if you can stay till the end of today's extraordinary episode. So, after I failed my first JAMB in 2016, yes, I was disappointed, I was angry, I was not too happy, but there was this this being in me that was still like, okay, we'll try again. So after that, I opted in for fashion designing training and I was on with that. In 2017, I wrote another JAMB, but one thing joined up to another. I couldn't get the admission. That is a full story for another day. And in 2018, I was asked to opt in for another JAMB, but I said, no, I'm no more interested. Education is not that important. That was my knowledge then. I had to stay back at home, not being able to get admission in school, because God was walking me through a process which I never knew. I counted it as a failure. It's okay to fail. It's okay to fail. Yes, I said it. It's okay to fail. But it's definitely not okay to define yourself by your failure. It is definitely not okay to now give up because you failed. Many people failed many times and they still did not give up. So I got admission in school in 2018, and that was how the journey began. So why am I sharing this word in today's episode? During those times of my process, what I term failure, one thing that God made me to understand at the end of my academic journey as a BSc holder is that there is a reason for everything, even that failure of yours. There is a reason. What you just have to ask yourself is, do you know why you are going through that season? Do you know why you are going through that process? Do you know why you failed in that particular thing? And do you know what to do next? Because if you are ignorant to all these questions of mine, then you won't be able to know the step or the way forward. So back to my story. All through my academic year in the university, it all made sense to me that even I got into school in 2016 or 2017, the story will be different. And that different story might not really turn out to be a good one. But here I am today. I'm grateful to God. I never expected what God did with me, what God did through me, what God did for me all through my approximately 5 years in university, 2018 to 2023. Because I was in His process. And I'm grateful to God for that. At the end of my academic year, it all ended in testimony. A big testimony at that. A big, very big testimony that I never expected could happen to me. Yes, I failed in 2016. I failed in 2017. I even almost failed and gave up in 2018. But God said, I am writing a story. God said to me, you are going through a process that ordinary man cannot understand. And that was how my failure turned into a testimony. So dear friend, I don't know if you are going through a phase in life right now, if you are going through a season in life right now, but I want you to understand that even if you had failed, even if you are failing right now, that doesn't mean you should stay in your failure. That doesn't mean you should rob yourself and just stay there, dining and whining in your failure. What you need to do is to understand what God wants you to understand in that season of your life. Are you going through process? Or is it just a failure that has a reason? Because I once failed, but my failure is now a testimony. So extraordinary family, the only word I have to share with you today is that do not stay there. Your failure is for a reason. Your process is for a season. So why not go to the God who knows all reason for every season, that you might get answer to your questions? Because it is okay to fail, but it is never okay to stay or be divined by your failure. I also love to hear in the comment section your failure testimony and what you have to share for someone out there to also be blessed with. Do not forget to click on the subscribe button to be a part of this family in 2024 and till eternity. Like, share a friend that needs to hear this story, because somebody is definitely going to have a testimony after viewing this story. I remain Balogun Oluwatomirin Toluwanimi, BOT, and I will see you again in our next episode.